Welcome back to Fantasy Hockey Picks and Bets. It is DJ Mitchell leading off the show for the first time ever. This is the Matt Moody List podcast today, and we are excited to finally not have that anchor dragging me down. I can go completely on my own tangents now, and he won't even stop me once. But thank you for joining us again. Matt is probably in the air right now, flying back from Los Angeles. He had a great time. I'm sure we'll hear all about it on Thursday's edition. But today, you're stuck with just me, the lone Sabres fan here. Excited to talk about the Canadiens Vegas series, which, honestly, I didn't have a lot of hope would get this far. And Montreal has played so incredibly well. They've kept this really, really tight. And we are going to have a great 9:00 start back in Vegas in that crazy atmosphere. But before we get started, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Prize Picks today. I know Matt is always eager to talk about it, but we got the full board up, prizepicks.com. Use code MMN to get the $100 match deposit. We got everything going on, all the playoffs, all the video games that I know nothing about that Matt always makes fun of me for, and even disc golf on Prize Picks right now as I look at it. In hockey, we have the Canadiens and the Golden Knights, 8 players on the board. You can kind of mix and match between multiple sports like Matt always talks about. He always tells you the rules every time. A goal is 3, assist is 2, a shot on goal and a block shot are half a point, and you can build your board from there. So I am going to highlight one player on each side here, and I really do feel good about both of these picks. I'll start with Max Pacioretty, who actually leads the entire series in shot attempts. Just sitting here, at a nice, 4.5, same with Pietrangelo, which I think both of those are good plays. I know Meany already highlighted Pietrangelo on the last podcast, so I didn't want to steal his thunder. I'm going to go with Pacioretty myself. It's more of coming back to Vegas. I think that Stone line will maybe catch a spark. It's been the narrative all series that they just haven't been able to connect and make it happen against Montreal to shut them down. Deneau's been blanketing them, especially when they were in Montreal, but I think they'll get away from that line a little bit. You could definitely see by the player charts in Vegas that they were able to actually get Stone and Pacioretty out against some of the lesser Montreal lines, and I think they'll capitalize with a goal and get off the schneid. The other one is Brandon Gallagher, who leads Montreal in shot attempts himself. He had, I think, I have it up here, 9 shot attempts in the last game, the OT loss at home. I think he could definitely figure it out and, maybe score one, maybe get an assist. Again, I think that, them, if they get down in this game, which is kind of what I'm expecting narratively, I think that he could be a guy that actually gets a little bit more run than his ice time would have indicated from last game, where he only saw 15 minutes and very limited power play time. It was interesting to me that Petrie and Weber were out with him on the power play. I'm not sure if that's going to stick, considering the power play hasn't clicked. So I'm hoping maybe he can get a little bit more of a bump in time there and maybe actually find a way to get on the scoreboard. If he gets 1 point, he's definitely going to hit that over on 3. So that's to get you started on Prize Picks. And like I already mentioned, you can go through multiple sports. We got a ton of MLB action. You can do pitcher stuff. You can do hitters, whatever you're feeling. And the Euro League and all that stuff. And if you're wondering, I really wish I could hear some more about those sports, head over to the Mayo Media Network. We have baseball, we have Euro League, we have obviously the golf with Pat Mayo, and he's always giving away free money. So don't be afraid to listen, comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. So with all that being said, all the housekeeping out of the way, head on over to Prize Picks again. MMN is the code. We'll get right to this game. Montreal at Vegas. Leading off this game, I really I want to pick the over. I think I'm talking myself into it more and more as the line moves away from it, just because I'm not buying that these teams are going to just continue to play such a slow pace. I think that 1 or 2 early goals could happen. I'm not as strong on that as I am on just the Vegas money line myself. I honestly am considering just taking them at a puck line or something of that nature, just kind of spread it out a little bit. I think they're a superior team. I think they'll find a way to get it done at home. But Montreal's been super pesky, and everyone's been talking about it. I think if I'm getting risky, I'm just taking the over, though, because as I mentioned, it is really, really looking like the under is going to be a bit of a, so right now it's plus 124 on the over, and I'm feeling that. That's what I have right now. Let me pull up the board. Yeah. So I think that's just this where I'm going to end up. And I don't feel incredibly strong on it like I do with Vegas getting the win here, but I am leaning that way. Now, the other bit of news and notes in this game is the Boar was asked about Stephenson, and he didn't really give us any strong indication all we can really decipher is that he's not a flat earther, because he said his return is on the horizon. And I kind of take that as he's probably not going to be back. But at the very least, it's not out of the realm of possibility, which, again, I think would only boost that Pacioretty Stone line, who is kind of, it's been one of those things where everyone, was praising them for putting Tuck up there. It looked like that was going to be a home run. Honestly, I thought they looked pretty good early. Tuck made maybe a couple mistakes that I didn't really notice too much on, and he got kind of siphoned back to the third line, and Nosek moved up. So I think that definitely takes away from that unit. So if we do get news that Steve Stephenson's back, I'm pretty in on that entire line. He is really expensive if you're playing a little bit of DraftKings, a little bit of Showdown at 6,400, but I'm not afraid to attack it. I really want to get a piece of that line. I think it's been very undervalued just because of everyone that watches the game is seeing, well, A, them not scoring, but B, all of the stats, and every commentator just nonstop, relentlessly talking about how the Stone line has disappeared. And I just don't really see it in the numbers as much as maybe others, because, like I said, Pacioretty has the most shot attempts of any Vegas Golden Knight. The second would be Pietrangelo, who has gotten all the praise. And, the big story has been the defensemen who have stepped up and they found a way. And this time it was McNabb with the goal, but I just don't know if that's going to last. It's something that, again, I'm not seeing maybe as much as others. Even if you look at the heat map for the entire series, most of Vegas's goals are coming in that slot area in front of the net. There's a couple from the point, but it's just something that I don't think they're meaning to do. It's just kind of happening. So I'm going to get away from stacking up defenders who have been way priced up on DraftKings and get back to kind of stacking a full force line, which will include a defenseman like Martinez or potentially even Pietrangelo. We're going to see what it comes up with, but I think Martinez is the easiest jam him in guy. The guy has about 400,000 block shots in this series, and I don't really see that going away. On the other end, if you're playing more of that DraftKings style, I do think that Lekkonen's been the easiest guy to get in at cheap. But there's really nothing that would stop me from taking a guy like Gallagher, even in a one-off position. It really is going to be how you construct your lineup. Like I said, I'm going to try to prioritize Pacioretty as my captain and then work from there. Might not include a goalie. Maybe I throw Leonard in. I might just try to play like this game is higher scoring than people expect, just to get away from the goalies are going to be egregiously overowned. Getting more to the player props, we have a lot of them up right now. The one that I found kind of the most interesting right off the cuff was that Pietrangelo is over on FanDuel Sportsbook is over 3, minus 144, while Pacioretty's is plus 100. That just seems like a pretty big misprice based off a couple games. Pietrangelo, yeah, he had a couple 7 shots on goal, and then he had back-to-back threes. I think you're just kind of begging for the push there. Hopefully he gets the shots from the point, but I don't really think that is super, I think that's pretty thin, especially taking it at such a negative equity. When you get a guy like Pacioretty, who, like I said, leads the series in shot attempts at plus 100, I don't really see why I would do that myself. On the other end, again, I already mentioned Gallagher being the guy that's been shooting the puck the most. I wouldn't really mind taking some of that. I also think the Mark Stone assist prop at plus 130 to be over 0.5 is pretty good. I mean, he's much more likely to have an assist and a goal, I think, on almost any night. He doesn't shoot a ton. And when he does, sometimes it's even just to shoot to try to create something on offense. So I'm more than down to take his assist prop, like I said, just because the guy is like an assist machine. His point is to get over half a point is minus 168. Again, I don't really see why I'm going to take such a crazy jump from the assist. Yeah, like he could score, and that's fine. He could have scored and have an assist. So I kind of like that one at plus 130 for Mark Stone. Other than that, I don't mind getting a block shot prop if you can find it anywhere. Like I said, Martinez, if it's anything, 2.5 even, I'd probably still go for it. And the only other thing that I'm kind of considering is taking something Cole Caulfield wise. I really think that he's come into his own. I still can't believe they benched him to start the whole thing. The guy has been electric for them. He really had a chance there to bury the game and just missed. And, it's no fault to his own. I think he had a nice little move there. 16 minutes in top power play time. And he just doesn't really seem to be priced quite accordingly. I probably wouldn't go with the plus 245 for the assist, but I honestly don't hate it. I mean, the guy is going to siphon players towards him, and he has had some really nice setups. The one goal to Suzuki, I believe it was either game 1, maybe it was even against Winnipeg, where he kind of faked the shot and passed it out. Like, he has that kind of skill, so I don't hate that idea. I do think, more often than not, he probably is going to be a goal scorer, not an assist guy. His goal is plus 350, though. Again, I just don't really see why it's so bad. Though that's one I'm definitely considering as well. Other than that, there's not a whole much more to talk about. I mean, it's one game tomorrow, but definitely, let me know. Leave a comment. We had one comment this time telling Matt to try some food in LA. So keep commenting. I'm trying to read them every time. I was still waiting for someone to ask me more about Prince of Wales. Haven't gotten it yet. So if you want the history lesson, please let me know. Other than that, subscribe, comment, leave a review on any of Pat Mayo's stuff. He's always giving away free money. And with all that being said, please check out Prize Picks. If you haven't yet, you don't know what's in your state, just give it a look, check it out, try it maybe a couple times, use the promo code, take in the free money. It's free money. Everyone likes free money. And, maybe you'll find that you have a knack for it, especially with some of these more obscure sports. I really think there's a huge edge to be gained in some of them. So if you're in on that stuff, definitely check it out and check out the entire Mayo Media Network for all of the content. Get in on the baseball, get in on the golf. I don't know if anyone had any good U.S. Open lineups. Let us know. Comment, leave something on Twitter, whatever it takes. With that being said, I'm going to let you guys go. Get to this exciting one-game night. Let me know if you need anything. You can always reach out. Some people have been DM me on Twitter. Go right ahead. But with that being said, from me and Matt flying over the sky right now, have a good one and enjoy the game.